Beautiful. So let's see if we can bring more beautiful souls into this space. If you wish to share, you're so welcome to do so. And I will thank you infinitely for being the emissary of light, for sharing this beautiful work. And thank you for your presence. I really am so grateful. I hope you can feel that frequency and feel that energy. Gosh, we need so much more of that today. I feel so much more than usual, just to feel that energy of gratitude, of how significant it is to be alive today. Just feel into that, your own presence. And as we are all moving together, whether consciously or not, now that I'm bringing it to your awareness, we are moving into this beautiful portal of the 7-7 gate, the Sirius portal. Sirius is also the spiritual sun. It's a beautiful time to really be bold, be courageous, be really, really brave to really confront your greatness, to confront who you really are. Because so much of life has given space to what you cannot do, what you have tried and failed. And then now you're like, I'm not sure if I should. What if I fail again? So much space and time is given to what I am not. And yet here we are at the threshold, and the doorway is wide open. There has never been a locked door, in fact. Even though most people think there is, there's a wide open door for you to move through, to fly through. You can just feel into that. The energy is streaming now. It's running. Aura to aura. Can you feel that moving through you? Your depth that is bottomless. Your cosmic greatness that is infinite. And what does that feel like for you if you could just rest your mind just for a moment here? Stop trying to make sense of it. Stop trying to intellectualize it. Stop trying to put a name or face to it. Let it take you. Let it work on you. And if you can slowly come back into this space, come into the presence of all of us here holding this woven thread together. Come into the presence of my spirit guides, your spirit guides, my masters, my masters' masters, the ascended masters and T-Spirit who are here with us in the most clear and significant way. And we consecrate the fruits and flowers of today's transmission to the divine consciousness, which is also perceived as the very essence of our being. And may we now surrender joyfully and fully so that we can receive the messages and the transmissions for the highest good and the highest good of all. In this surrender, the energy is emanated and permeated in the most natural way into the field where we are all present, to planet Earth itself and all beings on planet Earth and the entire cosmos. Thank you. So tell me how you're feeling in the comments. Just a few words. The more you participate, the more I invite you to, really to come in and share, ask, reflect. There's nothing here that I would say or share through spirit that is meant to be one and the only thing, and that you have to agree. You don't have to. It's here to activate. It's here to bring forth a remembrance within you. And one of the things that is coming up so powerfully right now is, the whole idea of living a life that is fully authentic to you, but you have come to be told, perhaps, or conditioned to think that it's unrealistic. I've spoken about this before. You can absolutely catch the replay. Just drop me a DM. It was a beautiful transmission about being the unrealistic woman. Today, though, I really want to bring forward something that I've been noticing, and we can really hold space for it to expand. Kelly, Jules, calm and content. I felt the soothing vibration through my body. Beautiful. Kelly is saying you had it within the first few seconds. Gratitude and holding space only for what we can't do. Yeah. I just want to hold that space for a moment here. For the things that we cannot. There are so many layers to this, and I feel like at the layer that feels very vital to activate it in you is the understanding of identity. Now, I trust that if you're here, you're probably on some kind of spiritual path for a while now. And most probably several different paths. And if you are still a seeker, meaning you're still looking for that one thing and you're still trying things, let me know in the comments. If you're someone who's deeply devoted to something or a certain way already, let me know in the comments. And if you are quite like me, I would say, a mystic who's on that beautiful pathless path of coming closer into the innermost part of your interior castle to meet the divine, to be so willingly open to the lead of spirit. That unrealistic doesn't even feel unrealistic anymore, because you are that ship with the sail that rises and you're ready to go when the wind blows. All right, so Kelly saying seeker and a helper on the journey. Beautiful. Jules, seeker, beautiful. I feel that. I feel that there are many of you that are a seeker. I definitely feel like I've been seeking for a long time until I crossed paths with the way of tea. And even when I speak of the way of tea, it almost feels like maybe not so much of the conventional the way of tea, because as I was journeying on this path, you know, I'm sure many of you can relate, is that at first I was so nervous, you know, holding space, that I have to do everything that I've read in the book or my teacher has taught me. And I was nervous and always so much in the head of, okay, I need to do this, I need to be this, and I need to be everything for everyone who's here. And then I really started to come into a space where, out of a real intention to hold greater space and to really inquire what presence really is, I started to notice that I do have very profound and very real experiences when I'm communing with the leaf in this ceremony. And so I started to share what I experience, what I see, you know, whether it was a past life, whether it was another dimension, whether it was a sacred geometry, or whether it was, and many times, the transmission from tea. I started to notice that, oh, I don't really see people talking about this the way that I do. And of course, it's never going to happen that way, because it's my own integrated experience. It's my own embodied experience. And this is why I'm here. This is what I'm here to share. And so what truly really landed for me is that I resonate very deeply with this, because in ceremony with tea, I can really hear what is required of me, what needs to be released, what I needed to hear to make the next move, to act upon it, or to be breathed into a greater being. But it is never a path that has a specific technique. And that's the interesting thing I feel right now, is that there is such an open book of techniques out there. Everyone can access all kinds of wisdoms. You no longer have to, quote unquote, prove your capability and then move into the next level when a master or a teacher says, yep, you are ready now. Right now, in today's day and age, you can literally just Google something or a book, and you can read the whole book, and you take it through your own mind, and you cipher it, and you filter through it, and through your own perspective, you take it out into the world, whatever you're doing, whether you're sharing it through teachings or you are sharing it through your own leadership. And so there isn't a way to say, has this really, really landed for me? Or is it my mind that is intellectualizing it? Yeah? If you're following what I'm saying, just let me know in the comments or give me a little heart. Because I would love to see if I could go a little bit deeper with this, or maybe we need to go a little bit more horizontally before we can go deeper. Yes, Michelle. Michelle is saying, yes, it seems I've been seeking what the way is for me for years and years. And Stark, hello Stark. I think the only thing I'm seeking is an unfettered self. Yes. You see, the unfettered self, the limitlessness that you truly are, is actually right here. It's already here. And what I can see, I can almost envision that we are all sitting in this cage, almost like a golden cage, if you will, truly believing that the door is slammed shut and locked. But actually, the door is completely open. If only we can see. And I want to bring this forward to you. And I would love for you to listen to it with your soul. Listen to it with your soul, not your mind. Allow yourself to drop the mind. Just see your mind cascading down, softening into the space below the navel. Just let the mind soften, become liquid, coming down all the way. And listen to me as I speak this. When we cast our attention in the infinite field of potential to something, we bring something from formlessness into presence. In this infinite field that is who you are absolutely limitless. And so you are fluid. You are formless. And something needs to shape that formlessness into something physical. And that something is your thought. It's your beliefs. It's your sense of identity. So even asking the question of who am I in this moment will feel very vital in the moment. And I'm fully aware, I feel this so deeply that so many of you have gone through the toughest hurdles, the biggest obstacles, the gravity-defying experiences. Yes? And somehow along the way, you find yourself feeling, how am I still feeling so limited? Why am I still feeling like there's something more? And it is really because the identity of who you are is ready to shift into who you will be. The issue is the resistance comes up when you refuse to drop that old identity. The identity that defined who you are up till that point. Whether it is that you are maybe a single mom who raised your daughter single-handedly, whether it is that you were an addict and now you're recovered, whether it is that, like me, I was anorexic and now I am fully recovered and even at that point, when I started to feel my spiritual self wanting to show through my work, I was faced with a big resistance. I was asking, who is going to get what I'm going to say? How is that going to relate to the body? Blah, 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 blah. The intellectual mind, the logical mind starts to step in. It's like, how do we do that? How can I make sense to other people? Right? How can they accept me? How can they see that I am useful? How can they see that I am important? Right? But if we come back into that infinite field that is so still, but really not paused, but a dynamic field. Yeah? It's stillness that is unpeeling. It's a stillness that is evolving. It's the cosmos, really. We start to realize that the unfettered self, as Stark would put it, the real limitless self, is no self at all. It is completely free. And it is really, if there's a word to put to it, it's love. It is an all-encompassing, all-inspiring love that is completely free to roam to where it wants to go, to become what it wants to become. And when you arrive at this point, you recognize that all the modalities, all the techniques, all the names that we give it, inner child, higher self, what else? You know, all the names, the ego, all of it, it suddenly just become nothing. And in that moment, it is such a spectacular moment, because that's the moment when you realize that I can know who I am in the now. I can tell you, but I don't know, in the next two weeks, 2 months, 2 years, tomorrow, really, even, because we're in such an accelerated portal, who I will become. And we need to be willing. We need to be humbled enough. And again, I cannot emphasize how colonized the word humility has become. If you are one of the well-intentioned people out there who say, I don't believe in humility, I think, humbleness is dead, or humbleness is killing the dreams and desires of a lot of people. Well, let me tell you what humble is. In Latin, humus, humilis, it's of the earth. In Greek, it means on the ground. That's what humility is. It's not about being lower rank or lower respect. It literally is of the earth. And if you really feel into it, you know that you are the divine, earthly, incarnated. You're endless. You're an endless, timeless soul living in a physical body, breathing a physical body to life, literally. Because if your soul leaves this body, your physical body is just a shell. And so it is so important for us to recognize that, yes, in this moment, I have formed and shaped an identity, but I always have this knowing at the back of my mind that the next iteration of me can be anything. It can be anything. And it requires me to be willing. It requires me to be open. Open. And that is what limitlessness is. That's what liberates everyone. That is truly what liberates everyone. Instead of being tethered to all the little things that does play a really big, magnified, in a sense, it feels real, right? It feels real when someone says that, I don't know you anymore. Or when people leave your world because they say that you've changed. Yeah. And I recognize that very much in my own life. I've gone through that many, many times. And there is no exception to it. It's always been very painful when it happens. But the more I now am able to see that, that is an identity retiring, the more I'm able to see that truly we are absolutely limitless. We are absolutely free. The door is wide open. Why aren't you walking through it? Tell me in the comments, why aren't you walking through the door that is wide open? What is holding you back? I'll tell you mine while you tell me yours. Type it in, put it in the comments. Of something that really came out so stark and true for me this week. I'm laughing because literally we have someone here called Stark, and I was like, I'm going to use that word, Stark. Okay. I am raised Malaysian. Like I was born and raised in Malaysia. I'm Chinese, so most of our culture is very much Chinese. It's very Asian. I definitely have a tiger mom at home. Her criticisms and her comments and her remarks are really, really, I can see now, expressed in love. But it wasn't like that all the time. I used to really feel like I really want to get away from home. I don't feel like I'm being understood, and it's really difficult to live there. And all my life at that point was just about, how do I get out of here? Like, how do I get out of this small town and get out of this space and go do big things in big cities, right? And for the longest time, I was holding myself back based on my blaming on my mom. I blamed it on my mom. I blamed it on my cultural origin. I blamed it on how, being Chinese, like how people cannot accept how someone Chinese is doing something that is not to do with finance, nothing to do with business, nothing to do with being a doctor or an accountant. And so I blamed it on them. And the resentment and the hate was really alive at that time. And then, of course, I got into this work and I learned to forgive. Not them. I forgave myself first, actually. I forgave myself for feeling so resentful, feeling so angry at people who were just living their own lives, really. This is their life. So what do I expect them to ever be? If I can't see myself, how can they see me? And so when I forgave myself, I found myself forgiving all of my ancestors, And my mother, really my mother. And I want to emphasize this because if you take a look at your life when you were really young, your life was just so small. Your life was your mom. No matter what kind of relationship you have with your mother, you just have to know that that was your world, your mother. And that's a huge responsibility to place on a human being, right? So the forgiveness is very, 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 very much alive and true. And I realized that as I do this, I also have to beautifully move through some very deep conditioning. Oh, I'm seeing Kelly resonating. I'm seeing Michelle resonating. Jules, self-confidence. Yeah, but I feel like confidence is very naturally already alive in us, actually. It's an imprint in us to be confident. I think it's just that it's hidden beneath a lot of conditioning, a lot of colonization really in our blood, because we carry through things that we don't even know how we knew. Ancestry, right? So there are lots to be thankful for. I wrote about this, I share about this quite openly, that I'm very, very thankful for my ancestors' will and drive and the rags to riches origin. Like, holy moly, you know, I was walking through my city recently and I was just thinking, I was so in awe. I was thinking, like, if nobody was proud about their own origin or their own culture, we wouldn't have like all these restaurants. Italian, Indian, Chinese, Korean, Japanese. Like, we would not have any of these in a foreign country. So just taking into account, like, on that very, very like earthly level, you know, and then getting deeper into how can I see through some of the illusions that we carry within us that we're not even conscious of. For example, recently, actually, I found myself recognizing that I will always arrive at the edge of my leadership. Like, I would always arrive at an edge of my expansion, and then I know that the next level is coming, and so my mind would have like a bit of a mindfuckery going on. And I was like, I really want to take a good look at you this time. Like, whose voice is it right here fucking around my mind? And I recognized it as my mother's. Actually, not even my mother's, probably my aunts as well. Like, all the women. The voice that says, you know, what value do you bring to the table? How dare you charge that much? Who are you to charge that much? Who are you to wear a dress and do that? Who are you? And maybe cut your hair back a bit, or maybe don't have a fringe that covers your eyes. Like, all these things. Where are those voices from? And I recognized that, wow, I didn't even know. It didn't even occur to me that my cultural conditioning was holding me back in my business, in my energy. I was laughing actually when I realized this, because I was like, oh my God, that is so basic. And all of us spiritual women, we forget that sometimes, really, honestly, right? Hands up if it's you. Like, we don't even consciously bypass it. It's like we just didn't recognize it. And then when you recognize it, the question is, yeah, Kelly's laughing as well, yeah. When you recognize it, then here's the next step. It's like, oh, love and light. I'm not angry anymore. I'm not resentful anymore. So there's nothing. But no, wait, hold on. What about those moments when they actually do still talk to you like this? What about those moments when they send you a random text and say, you know, oh wow, you're making so much money, eh? That you're going on a holiday, right? Well, Those are the moments when you don't just meditate it away. You address it lovingly and loudly in your most centered soul and heart. You say, this is not doing me any good. I'm afraid. I feel really disappointed and sad that you say to me like this when I'm sharing such a good news with you. And I really hope that you won't do that again. If you do, then maybe it's better that you don't say anything at all. And that is for me. That is for my well-being. That is for my ascension. That is for my human, really. I see here a comment that says, I'm afraid of expansion and it's all I want, where everything is waiting. Again, like I said at the beginning, when I saw your comment first, Stark, is that it's already here. The door is already wide open. And that expansion cannot just occur in your mind. This is the thing. So many people are like, I'm ready. Yes, I'm ready. Oh yes, I am so ready. I'm so ready for my ascension. I'm so ready for my expansion. I'm so ready for my next level. I can feel my next level coming. And then when it's right there, you're like, oh God, no. Oh God, no. No, it can't be like that. Oh my God, it's too fast for me. Oh my God, no. But you asked for the abundance. You asked for the opportunity. You asked for the money. You asked for the mentorship. You asked for your next level. And yet you don't want to make that move. And the whole age that we're living in, the age that we live in now is that we have so much at our fingertips. We can literally escape through our social media. We can escape through our screen, YouTube, Netflix, Gaia. And we think we have up-leveled. And this is the huge thing that's happening now. There is no embodiment. There is no real walking the talk. Nothing like that can stop us. Like nothing. Because if we really want to live behind a new legacy, and really, just like Stark says, I just want to be free. I just want to be liberated. I just want to live as my unfettered self. Well then, we have to walk our talk. We really have to walk our talk, not just staying in fantasy land. And the irony is that whole fantasy land is right here in your reality. It's actually right here. I know it's hard to believe me at this point, but trust me, the moment when I decided, let me tell you a story of how I decided, then you know what I mean. Because I was scared shitless. I had to make decisions that I was like, okay, here we go. And I had no idea if it would work. I had no idea. But I also knew it will work anyway because I'm all in. Me. I'm in the equation. How can it not work if I am in the equation? So sometimes what's holding you back is actually so close to you that you can't see it. Like what I spoke about, the unconscious conditioning. And sometimes it's really just saying, I'm tired of being afraid. I'm tired of hiding from my full potential. And sometimes it can be you're so freaking successful at so many things that you're doing already. And that is that moment where you're like, I'm so afraid of pivoting because this already works. So why am I even considering pivoting? But deep inside of you, you're already dying piece by piece because this is already a past version of yourself. So again, going back to the fluidity of identity, you're not just one identity. Your mission can change, your purpose can change. And if you ever have those times when you're like, oh my God, if I moved on from here, who's going to serve them? Trust me, the new wave will push the old wave. Someone will always come along, and you're making way for the new as you move into the new. And this is what nature really teaches us. If you really looked at nature, you would know what I mean. It's like you think that if you cut off a branch, which I oftentimes feel so sad about. I used to cry about this, by the way. But we have to, in our garden, to trim and make sure it looks good. But when I see the new branches coming through, and the new leaf, the new flowers, I'm amazed. And I think that's where we need to start to detach from the ego. Because it's only the ego that questions. It's only the ego that locks your identity in. The identity of a victim, the identity of a child, yeah, the identity of so many different things. Josette, oh my God, this, yes, yeah. So I really want to share that because it's really important for us to recognize that yes, we can absolutely be so driven and so ambitious and want to envision a greater world. But the thing that you are envisioning has to start from within you. It has to start from, how am I seeing myself? Like, how much do I see myself in this? Like, how intimate am I with my heart, my desires, with my presence? It's a real sense of being with yourself. Not numbing yourself by listening to another podcast or reading another book or quickly intellectualize why I'm feeling this sad. Or intellectualize like why I need to celebrate, why I deserve to be loved, why I deserve to be accepted or hired, or why do I deserve to be a leader? Like, no. Sometimes it's really just, I am sad. That's it. Sometimes it's just really, I want to be loved. Sometimes it's just really, I'm happy. That's it. And I'm not saying that techniques and modalities, blah. I definitely respect techniques and modalities 100%. I teach them myself. It's part of my core offerings for sure. But we want to come back to the very, very, very beginning of it all, where you can really open the pathway to integrating it. Not just, oh, it should be like this. Why isn't it working like this? Let me check. Hang on. Oh, wait, why do they do it like that? But I feel differently about that. Maybe they are right and I'm wrong. Or, I can't deal with the intensity of the people who are working with me, because, you know, all the things that are out of the blue that you've never studied, that you never heard other people talk about, and then you start to doubt and you start to think, I can't deal with this. But that only happens because there's no real intimacy with that work that you're doing. There's no real intimacy with yourself in that work. You see? And it begins with seeing yourself. It begins with you seeing yourself. You seeing yourself in the relationship, you seeing yourself in the modality, you seeing yourself in the technique, you seeing yourself in the teaching, you seeing yourself in my stories also. That is where it continues to activate you, continues to bring your imprint into this great sand of time. And we don't numb ourselves through intellectualizing, and we numb ourselves, even the most spiritual women do this. It's like you numb yourself by reading another book, watching another reel on social media, thinking like, oh yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to say. Well then, how are you going to say it? How would you walk that way? How would you act? Yeah, it's right. That's right. Okay, now go do it. Go do your expansion. And sometimes that doing is really, really, honestly, honest to God, asking for support, investing in yourself. Like, I'm not just saying invest in Li Ying. Through Li Ying, invest in yourself, more like. I'm saying in everything. It could be anyone. But really, so many of you hold amazing spaces for people. And yet you don't put back the same into yourself. Why? Why, when truly there's only one of us here? Truly. If you're not getting the same respect that you desire from others, if you're not getting the level of love that you desire from others, here's the thing. Look within you. Are you giving yourself that level of respect, that level of investment, that level of love? And I can guarantee you're probably going to say no. And this is the work. This is the real work. If you are feeling me, let me know in the comments how you are all feeling. There are 33 of you here. That's incredible. So, one of the things that I really am here to share, Almas, well, before I go into what I want to share, this is wild red tea. It's beautiful. It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So wild and probably really firing up my heart. Yes. Okay. First and foremost, when we talk about finding out who you really are, it's really, really important for you to recognize that we live in a time when we really need to be very consciously decolonizing our mind, our body, and our soul. What that means is we want to be very open with our journey, recognizing that when we truly walk the journey, when we are walking on it, there's actually no journey. There is no arriving. And I hope that that can give you a sense of deep liberation, because it really means that you are eternal, you are timeless, and yes, we do the work, but the work doesn't have to be work, you know? It's really about, and I can hear it now, I can hear it in the field, like lots of people are saying that, what about them? What about these people? What about that? How can we change the world? And again, I just want to come back to, there's only one of us here. It really is. It really, really is. It really starts from you. It really starts from you. You want to change the world? You shift yourself. You shift yourself. And what that also means is just exactly like what I shared in my true experience. That shift takes place within you, and then you move into the world as that. And sometimes that means I have to address it with my mom. Maybe sometimes I need to address certain things with my aunt. Please don't tell me to cut my hair after you see my live session. Things like that can feel so basic, but it really is the most powerful and most loving and most frequency shifting thing. Because let me tell you, my mom and my dad, they never imagined I would do this work today. Never. But because I really just show up the way I am now, and I'm like, this is who I am, this is what I do, would you like to come and sit with me in ceremony sometimes and feel into it? And it's just a very open, detached, unattached invitation. Eventually, one day they told me that, you know, my mom came up to me and said to me, you know, I don't know what you're doing, but I will support you. And my dad, same. It's like, I see your passion, I see what you're doing. I don't know what exactly you're doing, but if you need anything, just let me know. And yes, of course, sometimes my mom has her critical remark here and there, which is also an invitation for me to step even deeper into my embodiment. Really like telling her the way that I always tell my clients to speak up when their voices are activated. Addressing it lovingly, not like I'm fighting you and against the world. No, it's really like we need to drop that, especially the spiritual us against them. There's no us against them. It's all of us. When you ascend, they ascend. Don't worry about them coming with you or not. Maybe not immediately, but whatever it is, you see the power in them. That's how we stop this whole cycle of victimization and tyranny, actually. So I'm seeing some comments here. They're streaming upward. Let me just go and see. Selena, you truly speak straight to my heart every time. Thank you a million times. Oh, thank you, Selena. Joe said, this is speaking to my soul. I'm also in ceremony with you drinking cacao. Beautiful. I've been looking to different teas as well. Thank you. Yes, I love working with tea, specifically indigenous origin tea that are what we call living tea. It's amazing. Yes, that is my family. Always needing to change something, like I'm never fully enough to my parents. Yeah, and I would love to say that. It's that, you know, when you say that, I just feel this so deeply. It's this sense of like, when we feel that we're not enough, whether it's for our parents or our clients or whatever, the real question is, do you feel enough for yourself? First, let's go there. Let's really go there. Because if you feel that way, or if you feel that they feel that way, because that's the biggest ego game that plays into this whole illusion. They think that I'm not enough. Okay, could be true, but also, if you feel a charge, if you feel triggered, that means a part of you actually recognizes that as the truth. And you don't like that. Your soul is telling you that's not true, but your mind thinks it's true. So we want to really go deeper into that. Start to really peel away the layers and deepen into your depth. Anchor you into your divine light, so that the divine light is in such overflow that it can ripple outward. And that is how you shift your field. You shift timelines. Like I would say to my clients, we literally shift timelines. We don't change the world. We shift timelines. Ranido is asking, how do you stay on track? And thank you, Josette, for your beautiful donation. How do you stay on track? You don't. You don't stay on track, my love. Here's the truth. We are never on a track. We are in a spiral, actually. And I think what's coming up very, very profoundly to share with you is that we never ever actually stray. Yes, there will be days when your ego takes over, let's say, and you might get into a place of real fear, like, oh my God, I can't do this. Like, I can't do this, you know? Or like, I'm so tired and I just can't, I've been so good, I've been so giving, but what the hell, right? All these thoughts can come up. But it doesn't mean that you're off track, actually. It just means that you are either at the edge of your current identity and your soul is actually leading you to the next stage, the next level, the next iteration, the next expansion, or there is something that you're refusing to confront and see for yourself. And that's where your mind loves to play the game of putting all the little things that you think that you need to fix. All the little things. Oh, I need to fix this first. I need to fix this first. I need to fix my Instagram. I need to fix my social media presence. I need to fix my business. I need to fix my website. I need to fire my colleague, or I need to fire my subordinates. Like, I need to change my mentor. Like, all the little things. And yeah, I'm not saying that that's not valid. But the real thing is really, really, really confronting why is this triggering you within you. Lady Peacock. Wow, I've never thought of that question. Do you feel that you're enough for yourself? I actually feel stuck on that question. I'm not sure what to think because I've always felt like I was enough and always excel whatever I did, just try to make people happy, and if that wasn't enough, work even harder. Yes, I think that's exactly where you're starting to confront your ego there. Yeah. Only the ego would think, I need to work hard to make people happy. I need to prove myself lovable. I need to work so damn hard so that I am validated, I am seen, and I am appreciated. And if I don't get it the way I want it to, and even when I do get it, it just feels like it's not enough all the time. It's like I still have to do it harder and be bigger and be harder and bolder and louder, whatever. It could even be like, oh, I need to be softer. I need to be gentler as a meditation teacher or a healer, you know? But here's the thing. Only the ego will think that, because the soul knows that there's no such thing of being enough or not. Really, 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 really. And this is where I love to take you to. The work that we do in the mentorship space is that. It's really, really that. It's like really deep decolonization work. Because it is through colonization of our mind, our body, and our soul, through so many propagandas of the centuries, through all the things that we bring throughout from our ancestors, and through current times even, that we believe that we can only rise through the ranks when we are working harder, or that we have put in the work, that we have earned it. Oh my God, that fires me up so high. I remember seeing that first. I was like, we have to earn our rest? Are you kidding me? We have to earn don't get me started on that. Really. This is why so many women are still unable to rise. Because we refuse to believe that we have been so indoctrinated that we need to earn our rest. We can't relax, because the minute we really relax, the competition will take over. And what is that even? What is that even, competition? And if you are asking, how do I justify being enough or not? That question is attached to a certain outcome. So in essence, you're trying to control the outcome by being enough, whatever that means. And that changes, right? The goalpost changes all the time, depending on who you're with, where you are at, what stage you're at. And that's why it's so exhausting. And then suddenly you arrive at this point in your life where you're like, what the hell have I been doing with my entire life? I've just been pandering to someone else's goalpost. And that someone else could even not be someone else out there, but your mind would think it's someone else's goalpost, because your mind is so good at that. It's a coping mechanism. It's a coping mechanism. Yes, exactly, a numbing mechanism, actually. To get stuck is a numbing mechanism. And so I would love to also share at this point that I want to invite you, if you are feeling called to explore mentorship with me, I would love to invite you to book a call. I have limited spots, but you can absolutely book a free call, 30 minutes, we can connect and see how we can work on this, where you're at, where you want to go to, and then go from there. Because it's really such deep work. Like today, I hope this activated something in you. And really, if you are serious about your spirituality, if you are serious about being truly authentic as you hold space and lead, if you're serious about unfolding your soul's highest path, then this is the space for you. Then I am the mentor for you. There are several ways to work together in mentorship. There are one-to-one and a group. That's why I would love to connect with you on a call so that we can have a good chat and see what's most fitting for you. And also what you are willing to invest in yourself through me. So that's what the conversation is for. But yes, it is so vital right now where we're at, especially when everyone is, the whole AI thing is taking over as well, right? How do you remain authentic in this space? How do you even know? How do you even discern? Through the soul. Your soul knows. And it's more vital than ever that now we really learn how to work with that, to recognize that, no matter what we want in our lives, whatever we call in, it is all available. And it comes from this deep knowing that we are source. we are the source of all of that is. So important. So important. Not to be held hostage by what our ego thinks. It's so important. So, so important. I can't even emphasize. Yeah. Thank you for that question. It's beautiful. It's absolutely so vital to address that. How are we even enough? Why are we so deserving to be a medicine woman? Who are we to share our work? Who are we to share our story? Who are we to be here today? Who am I to be sitting here to share my story? Who am I to be doing this work? Right? And these things are what we will go into in mentorship. But before I complete today, really the real question is, do you see yourself? Do you actually see yourself? Finally, if you stayed all this while, I want to thank you because you're receiving in this very moment the exquisite frequency of sacred luxury. This is the frequency that I truly believe is going to bring you into a deeper embodied state, not just of recognizing who you are and what you are and all that greatness that you are, but actually walking the talk, giving yourself the finest, investing in yourself, buying yourself what you truly love. It's just like being in ceremony, right? The sacred and luxury is one and the same frequency. Why? We are literally bringing the physical into deeper remembrance of the sacred within us. This is the true meaning of luxury. This is the true meaning, because if you ask me, everything in a temple, in a royal palace, in a ceremony are from the finest, made in the finest way. Context can change, but it's always in this sense of like, we want the finest because we respect the guest, because we respect the host. And if you are the host of your own life, if you are the guest, the human in your divine light, you want to have the finest, of course, with full reverence. And so if you're still one of those spiritual women that I spoke of, where you give the finest to others but not yourself, I'm calling you out. And if you are already a spiritual woman who gives yourself continuous evolution, you invest, you bring yourself into that deeper space, I encourage you, really go into that space where you really give yourself the luxury, the sacred, the finest, and come back and tell me how that experience was. I don't care whether it is to go into the hotel for a night or investing in the mentorship that you felt was a bit bigger than you thought. Like, oh my God, that number scares me, but let's go with that price. whatever it is, or booking a call with me. It's going to stretch you for sure, but it's going to be in the finest, and I can promise you it will be. Please go there this weekend. Let yourself have it and start to see a shift, instant shift. I guarantee it. I can't guarantee how it will look because every one of you are different, fractals of the divine, but I guarantee you will feel a shift. Because it really just really starts from within you, the way you treat yourself, the way you see yourself, the way you give yourself. Give others, don't expect to receive anything back. Receive and don't stress yourself about giving back. That's the vibe. This will shift your world. So I look forward to, again, if you want to book a call, please either reach out or go to the link in my bio. You will find a link there to book a Meet Your Majesty call. Otherwise, let me know if you have any other questions, anything else you want to share before we finish off for today. It's incredible to be with you. I don't know who it is on Instagram that's with me right now. Please let me know. And also on Insight Timer, 116 people, and then 25 of you are still here. That's cool. That's really cool. So yeah, I'm going to take a sip before we finish. So good. And by the way, we also have these beautiful ceremonies together in mentorship. And I'm telling you, I don't usually talk during ceremonies. So it's to allow the field to unfold in its own way. And the transmission of tea spirit comes through in its own way, with you, through you. And truly, that's me being so humbled by the unseen, because I can only go that far, but that spirit takes you even deeper. And I'm really honored to be able to hold space for that, to be a keeper of this wisdom, and to be able to channel through this incredible light being, really. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for receiving her guidance. Her guiding hand is all here, very alive and very present. It's really essential, especially in a space where you really want to drop away the logical mind to feel and sense your soul. And it's not to say there's no place for the logical mind, but the logical mind isn't turning on itself. And the logical mind isn't playing host, boss, because you're the boss, not the logical mind. And I think a lot of us have mistaken that to be the boss. And that's why you feel limited. That's why you feel shackled. Yeah. Thank you, Jules. Thank you, Lady Peacock. I love Lady Peacock. My God, what a name. Okay, so thank you, beautiful ones. I am so delighted that we get to do this. I send you so much love. I hope to see you. If you want to come and say hello on Instagram, I would love to say hello back to you. And in the meantime, have a beautiful weekend. Thank you so much.